I want to be that type of gatekeeper in Minnesota.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be a gatekeeper, right? I want to open gates, not close them and keep them stagnant.
You believe in the gatekeeper?
No, I
thing?
don't. I absolutely don't. There's not a gatekeeper here that could keep me from getting to where God got me destined to be. Like, I can't even think of one. And there's people that have definitely made moves in the industry in Minnesota and have helped other artists like make, noise and things of that nature. But like that whole gatekeeper, like people get on here and get real egotistical and like think they can change and dictate people's life. Like only God can do that. You don't have that control. Sorry, you don't.
Real shit.
Like you don't.
Yeah.
You don't. Sounds good though.
I mean, does it?
I guess.
I don't think
sounds
it really
good
is.
on live on Lake Street. You wouldn't do that live on Broadway.
You see, I'm Southside reppin', Bigfoot steppin'. Zone 3 section is God flow perfection. Hating on the church like I ain't blessed they section. If we ain't talking money, I got a weak connection. That's on the hood. She said get a bag, so I get it, got it good. Don't complain about my problems, I just put it in a wood. Seen a genie the other day, she said make it good. So I wish for good health, then I wish to look. It's chief, not lieutenant.
Oh shit!
Crazy.
God damn. Okay.
So excited
Let me
to talk
start.
to me.
Let me start off. Okay. Welcome to another episode of Live on Lake Street. We have a very special guest with us today. We got BdotCroc with us.
What's up? I'm happy to be here.
When's the last interview you did? Was it with me?
Yeah. If it don't count, if radio don't count, probably with you, with the Wiseman show. Back when you was a Wiseman.
And that was like 4 years ago. Oh no, you did. You kind of sat in on that one.
Yeah.
A couple years ago.
Yeah.
Reluctantly. When all that crazy shit was going on in our cities with the white people touching on girls and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember that.
I mean, artists and their DJs and things of that nature. We should be specific if we're going to say it. But
yeah. Okay. So look, let's just get right into the Rushmore.
Yeah, let's
You were
do
on
it.
the north side Rushmore.
I was.
And I think actually of all the people, the 4 people that were on there, you were the most agreed with.
Word.
May not feel that way.
Yeah, I mean, it was a mix. It definitely felt like it, but then again, it was like, but I understand too, like some of the folks that, like a lot of the younger generation wanted to see on there, or even the older generation, you know what I mean? I get either I was influenced. The tight thing about it is the folks that people think should have been on there, some of the folks, right? Not all of them, let me be clear. A good amount of them I might have been influenced by or knew or whatever the case is, right? You say that, like I've heard those names, some of those guys, like legendary. And then the younger crowd that you're talking about, I've helped influence. So for me, it's like, and that's some of them, right? A good majority of them, the Princes, the ones that people are like, yo, this person should be James. All them is like artists I know. So I don't take that, to me, either way it works out.
Yeah, you got a lot of children out here.
Yeah, I do. I got a lot of kids.
I think people
without
don't understand
having
that.
any kids like that. Huh?
That's part of why it's important for me to have you here, because I feel like people don't understand that, like, you influenced a lot of the people that are out there. A lot of the people that are being said that should be on the Rushmore.
For sure. And they called me. Like Prince and Mac called me, FaceTime me when the comments were going down, and they're in the comments. And normally I'm chill. Like normally I don't, I'm very humble when it comes to that stuff because I just want to rap. Like I don't want to do too much talking. But at that moment, it was kind of like, nah, I seen a lot of folks jumping out the window on there, so I just had to insert myself, respectfully.
Who jumped out the window at you?
Cash. We all know who jumped out the window.
Cash the Kid?
Yeah.
Well, there was a couple people, though.
I don't remember all of them.
He was probably the most relevant one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
possibly.
the rest of y'all that jumped out the window aren't relevant.
I mean, there was a lot of like, I don't know who she is. Who is
That's
that?
crazy to me.
And the picture y'all picked was rugged. I don't know who y'all social media team is, but
I love
they
that
could have
picture.
did it better.
I had that picture framed in my
That's because you just love me. You probably picked the picture. That was your favorite. You like the pigtail joint?
Maybe.
Okay. I'll give you that.
All right.
That's fine.
So one of the most poignant things that was said about the Rushmore, in my opinion, was that it was, and this was from somebody that was from the North Side, embedded in the North Side, said they thought it was accurate, and that the reason it got so much pushback is because they didn't like that it was accurate, that it looked bad for the North Side, that was the Rushmore.
I feel like being totally honest, I feel like y'all do a great job, whoever y'all may be, like giving some realness and some trollness to it. And I think with that being said, like there were folks on there. There was like a few on there that I was like, I didn't see that coming per se.
Who?
Or
which ones did you not agree with or not like?
There was not agree with or not like. Who was on there? It was me. It was Rocky. It was John Ray, and it was
50 Tyson.
50 Tyson. Okay, So no disrespect to 50 Tyson, right? But like for me, I just think if you're going to put a 50 Tyson on there, and I get y'all's bias of like numbers and impact and things like that, like you bring it back to me historically with the kids, it's like, well, if that's the case, then the Wine Rich kids should have been on there, right? Because Hot Cheetos and Takis, like that was a big record. And not just that, they had My Bike, they had follow-ups after that. And they're a whole huddle, and they're still currently doing music. Like Dame's still making music. G6, who's Glenn, is now making Boss Man. He just performed and opened up for somebody. It's a few of them still. Prince Riley, like Mac Turner, all of them are Wine Rich kids. So to me, it's like if you're gonna base it on music and views and numbers and all this stuff you're doing, then you gotta include that too. Like that's historical. And they was like, we talking about 8, 9 years old. You know what I mean? Like 50s was more so like parody in a sense, and we can't take that. Like he should be top 5 in that element too. But like musically, you're bumping 50 Tyson. Musically, what's your favorite song?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. You might not be bumping Wine Rich kids neither, but you know Hot Cheetos and Takis, right?
Right.
You probably know word for word some of them records.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again,
you know 50 Tyson.
I'm gonna say this again.
Word?
We are not here for my opinions.
Oh, okay. I'm just asking questions if you know it word for word.
But the answer is no. No.
Okay.
No, I'm not listening to either.
So that's
of
what
them.
I would have said. I would have liked to see like the Wine Rich kids if we was gonna do it. And the Rushmore too is all over the place because even John Ray, like to me, John Ray's dope. Like I think he's phenomenal in a sense, and he's like hot. You know what I mean? You can't take that. But it's like you throwing around folks. It's just like, why wasn't Irv on there? Mac Irv should have been on there. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you've
like,
heard you heard me say it before. I think ultimately in the end, I think Irv and Mayhem probably do belong on that.
Yeah, or even Lioness. Lioness is another one. Like you want to put me on there, you should put Lioness on there too. Like she's another GOAT that is legend her way and done tours, and when it comes to the records and shows and things of that nature, like killing it. Like that's another thing. Y'all always leave room for just one female, and that's weak because the females are crushing the guys, and you know that.
Well, I mean, according to some people, there shouldn't be any females. That
right,
they should have their have their own.
But I bet money if you did like a female Rushmore versus a guy's Rushmore, then versus on them female Rushmores would be a lot tougher, respectfully.
That wasn't respectfully. That was disrespectfully.
I just wanted to add respectfully to
because if we're talking about music, like actual like skill, ability, you're number one on that Rushmore by far.
I know a lot of people was upset about Rocky too, and for me, it's like me and Rocky go back, like Royal Family days, start up together, like that whole, like that generation of Royal Family, I should say. Me, Rocky, Fly, ID, Bangs, Spud. It's so many. Explosive. There's a lot of us. Raleigh who's still producing. JT, Jimmy Easy, who's doing a lot of this stuff now for this generation that's making music. Prince and them. Like Rocky was at that time for sure, like dominant. Like he was showing us the way. He was on Twitter all day making that stuff. Like he was making socials jump, MySpace jump. I'm talking about all the way from the jerk days to the rap days. And that's my thing too, is like respectfully, like Rocky Diamonds can rap. Don't do that. Like
no, he can rap.
Like he can rap.
Some people also say he's not really from the north side.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I couldn't tell you if he's not from the north side. From what I know, he's from the north side. Okay. But I mean,
he's gotten the most pushback.
Yeah, but that's because Rocky has a lot of fight in the city. Like he's had a lot of issues with his transitions in and out of here. So Minnesota feels a way towards Rocky, and they have a right to some degree.
Yeah, and didn't he disown Minnesota in an interview too?
I don't know.
He needs to come back and re-own Minnesota.
Yeah.
At this table.
Y'all should interview him.
He's coming.
Oh, okay.
He'll be here.
Y'all should interview him.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
So, you kind of had your foot on necks for a long stretch of time with the music, and then you kind of fell back.
Yeah. I had to get my mind right, man.
Well, but what... I feel like artists, when they get in a space where their mind isn't right, is sometimes when they make the best music.
No, facts. This is the thing that you got to know. Like, I never stopped making music. Right. Like, so what I came out like here officially, like probably like 2010, maybe 9. And I was just going. Like, I had been rapping. I've been rapping since I was 8 years old. You know what I'm saying? In the basement with my uncle. Like, I didn't grow up immersed in hip hop like a lot of young people are now. Like at that time, my favorite rapper was my uncle in the basement with my cousins, J Hard and Nova, ciphering every day, battling. Like that's how I got so good at freestyling off the top. And then at 13, I had somebody come to me from like they weren't necessarily all the way with a label, but they were like one of those types. And he was like, yo, I want to get you signed. I'm gonna get you some looks. And 13-year-old girl, right? Still like tomboy and whatever the case. Wasn't even worried about sexuality at that time, really. And he bought me a Rocawear velour dress to rap in. I had a performance. He went to Twinstown at, if y'all really know Brookdale days, he went to Twinstown, got me a Rocawear velour dress and brought it to me and was like, you gonna perform in this? And I was just like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, Rocawear velour dress? Like, I'm not about to take me serious. Ain't nobody else. Like, I ain't gonna be comfortable. He was like, well, this is kind of what you gotta be a little more. And I'm like, so I stopped rapping at 13, and then I just went to North High School. A lot of my friends knew in middle school I could battle. The ones that knew I could rap would make me rap against people in the lunchroom, and then after that would transpire. High school, I just really was a, like, student pretty much. I didn't rap unless you knew, and I was like at a skating rink. Like back in the day, I would be battling at skating rinks sometimes, but that was really it. So like 18, 19, when I went to MCTC is when I started putting out freestyles and stuff like that, just to see. And like a lot of people was like, not just my friends, like a lot of people was like, yo, you might have something at this, like you should do that. So then that's when I like pressed on. I started working at the YMCA. That's when I met Jimmy Easy and Ralio, and we started working. Me and Ralio actually met, like, I think JT maybe told him about me. I don't remember the story completely. He had to tell it, but like I battled Ralio in front of like the kids, like Mac Turner, all them, like back then. And like,
wait, Ralio rapped?
Yeah,
I didn't
Ralio raps.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, King Ralio raps for real. He got an alias too that he be going by. So does Jimmy. But either way, like I battled Ralio in front of the kids, and I gave him that work. And then after that, we was working, and that's kind of just, you know, I became Royal Family kind of in that element after that. And at the time, it was just like, man. And then that kind of came to, like, you know, everybody was transitioning. Rocky had kind of like started to separate himself in a way. And then Fly passed away, right? And when Fly passed away, that was, because for me, Fly was the one that really spent time with me in the studio and like showed me how to record myself. Because we were in a house where like there was a studio in the basement and there was a studio upstairs. JT was upstairs and Wiz was in the basement. And then they had one more person from Minnesota that be doing a lot of producing now, Corbett. DJ Corbett, I don't know if y'all heard of him, but he does a lot of production with people too right now. They were all in the house together. So we was all in the crib, like just making music. Like I can name countless of artists that, like, that's where I met Lexi, Ashley DeBose, obviously Fly, like you name it. Mac Irv, that's the first place I seen Mac Irv. Yeah. He was doing music with ID at the time. Like, yeah, that was like one of them houses. Like if y'all ever watch Fly video, it's the video with all the records on the wall. Like that was a special time. So all that to say, like, everything kind of started to fall apart once Fly passed away. Like, it was just a lot. So I started to do my own thing and really just go at it myself. Still working with Ralio and JT, but just kind of focused on BdotCroc more than Royal Family. And then I say like 2015, like me and Bishop, I got tight with Bishop like years back at some point. Try Bishop, yep. We connected at some point, but he was always in and out of the city too. So we didn't really get to lock in like we wanted. So I think by 2016, I dropped Show and Tell in 2015. By 2016, it was kind of like, I had done so much. Like, it was so much that happened in such a short amount of time. Then you fast forward with like the Sway Cyphers. I had already did Soundset in 2012. Like, so many things that happened for me kind of fast, but they weren't as big as they are now. You know what I mean? At that time, like social media wasn't as big or none of that. So it was like, it just felt burnt out. I got burnt out. Like, I got kind of bitter towards music and was like, I lost some really good, you know, I wouldn't even say really good. I lost some folks that I thought were close to me or meant a lot to me via music during the time. So I kind of just was like, let me step back and get my mental right. Because at the end of the day, like, rap for me was an outlet. I didn't know that at the time, right? But like, it was like an outlet for me. Like, it was like how I voiced my opinion about things, how I expressed myself. And it started to become real, like, I don't know, like, it was like not angry, but like angry and bitter. So I just was like, I needed to take a step back and, you know, still drop freestyle, still participate in culture. Cause like I said, I love it, involved in any way I can be. But yeah, I took a break for a second.
That to me was the big reason why I think you were the one on the Northside Rushmore that was you couldn't question it, because even when you weren't doing music necessarily full time, you were still in everybody's face with the merch. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you couldn't, like, the B-Dot's everywhere.
It is.
Everywhere.
It is.
And like, I wear it out in public and people are like, oh, B-Dot. And it's like,
yeah. And it's a good conversation starter too. Like I love that. Like people see my hoodie or my sweatshirts and they don't just say rapper, right? Like I'm not just a rapper. Like at the end of the day, like I'm a person in the community. You know what I mean? I'm a North Sider for real. I'm really over there with the kids. Probably know some of your kids. Probably know some of your peoples because I work in community. I've been working in community since I was 16. I'm 31 now. So it's like I've been in it for a minute, you know what I mean? But I was rapping and doing community work at the same time. The dope part about it was when parents started to find out at the YMCA that I rapped because their kids were playing my music, they would come up to me and say things like, yo, my kid found your song and like, I like it, it's dope. Like, that's what's up. So like, at first I thought I had to keep them separate because all the rappers around me did that. They lived like separate, you know, lives from like real life. But for me, I was able to have them together where like if you say Bryn or you say B-Dot, they're the same person. Right. They're not different. And as far as like, they might be different in presentation. Like BdotCroc's on stage, BdotCroc's giving you them bars all day and every day. But Bryn was giving you them bars too. Bryn's in community. And they call me B-Dot even in community. So it's like, I had professors at my school at the U of M call me B-Dot. Like when I walked in class, one of my professors in my youth studies class was playing my song and called me B-Dot when I walked in. And I was like, yo, like you gotta chill. Like it was mad awkward for me, but it was like, that's when I started to figure out my brand was bigger than just music. Like, and I love that because it's a positive brand. It's not like nothing else.
So is you being able to be you across the board, no matter what situation you're in, is that part of your disdain for artists that can't do that or don't do that?
Absolutely. I couldn't imagine living like that. Like living dual lives, right? I get it. Like there has to be a degree of separation. Like when I'm out in public and I'm sitting down with family or something like that, no, I don't want you running up on me and being like rap. But if you try it, you might catch them bars, right? But like on average, that's not what I want. Like I had to learn to separate Bryn and B-Dot as far as like how people treated me. Because people that knew me as Bryn, like I've never had a nickname for her. I was always known around the city as Bryn until B-Dot came along. So it's like, once B-Dot started to become B-Dot, then people started to treat me like B-Dot. And I didn't like that. It was like, oh, you know, that fake, that joke, but you could hear it in it like, oh, you B-Dot now, or you do this, da, da, da. It was like, nah, like I don't want that. So I separated it. And for me, I have a disdain because a lot of artists I know personally, to a level, right, capacity, and it's like some of their personalities are way better than the personas that they put on the microphone. And for me, it's like, that they don't understand the gold and how that could shine through. Like if you just be yourself, like that's what I encourage my kids is like working with kids in community and knowing they're committing crimes and doing stuff like that so they can rap about it. Like having kids tell me that, like that's hurtful. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want them to think they got to live a certain life or be a certain way to be in this business. You know what I mean? Like you could be yourself. Like you could be yourself.
Yeah. So as far as I don't know of anybody else from Minnesota, definitely from the north side of Minneapolis, that's been actually called to go rap for Sway. I know you rapped with Sway a couple times.
Yeah.
With the Cyphers, the Soundset Cyphers, but you actually got like the call to go.
Yeah, I flew myself out.
So for one, how did that come about?
Man, so you know, they were doing them ciphers during Soundset or whatever the case was. Sway and them would come and host their show in Fifth Element. So I didn't get note of it the first time it came or whatever. And I remember seeing like Taylor, I think Mac Irv, Lioness. It was a few of the artists on there. And I was like, man, how did I know about this? Like, this is crazy. So then the next year I told myself like, well, I'm going to show up. Like, I don't care if I got to wait in a line or whatever I got to do, I'm going to show up. And literally probably the day before the cypher, somebody from Fifth Element staff emailed me and was like, yo, we want to invite you to come be a part of the cypher, yada, yada, yada. So I'm in my mind, I'm like, I'm coming anyway, so it didn't matter, but cool. So I get there, I show up, and you know how it was, like it'd be crowded, people would be standing, they would just be watching like, you know, Tracy, Heather, and all of them just do the show. And in my mind, I'm like, yo, like we should be warming up, you know what I mean? Like we gonna be, especially me, because I knew I was going up there and rapping off the top for real, like freestyling. So it was like, I was like, yo, we should go outside and like cypher. Like we should get, you know, warmed up. So like a good amount of the artists went outside and started ciphering. And at the time, one of the homies, I want to say Taylor, he was doing Sway's social media at the time here in Minnesota for Sway Universe. And he was out there while I was doing the cypher. So then the producer of the show got wind of it and she was like, yo, and I watched her kind of go into Fifth Element and be like, yo, who is this girl? She needs to be a part of this cypher. So then that's when I knew like, oh yeah, I got some attention. So I went up there and I did my thing. And then after I did my thing, I built a relationship with all the folks like pretty much that was there with them, like Tracy G, Heather B, Then Sway, of course, and then Yinka, who's there, was their cameraman at the time. Like, he ended up shooting a video for real for me the next year that they came back.
Oh, he shot that?
Yeah, he shot
shit.
Yinka. Shout out Yinka. He shot that out. So it was like, then the producer ended up emailing me and was like, yo, and at the time, me and Bishop had just dropped a record called Headshots that was coming off of Show and Tell. But I don't think Show and Tell was quite out yet. So I was like, they was like, you know, you need something to promote, yada, yada, yada. So I'm like, oh, I got this record. Let's do that. So they was like, all right. They told me the date, told me to get out there. And I made my way. And I did that cypher with this dude named Buddha Bless and Boogie. And Boogie now is like, you know, signing Shady Records and all that at the time. He wasn't even there yet, but now he's there. And it's like, it's just dope for me to look back and think like, yo, and I freestyled off the top there too. Like, I can't tell you how many people was telling me like, yo, do not go off the top. I'm like, no, Sway respects like, he remind me of AJ and Free and them, like he really respects hip hop culture and loves it, at least the way I believe he did. And that shined through in that. So I think that was just a blessing from God, really. Like,
I understand people telling you that though.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Because most people can't do that.
Yeah.
What you do.
Yeah, and I get that. And
So,
for me, it's
yeah.
like my method is always I tell people that. Like my uncle taught me that. Like I think of my first line and that's it. Then I go.
Gone.
It's gone. Yeah. So there was like, I remember looking up Sway and I was like, oh yeah, Sway, the Bay. Oh, Sway's from the Bay. Okay, I heard Sway's from the Bay and we on the way. So tell me when to go, usually 40. And then it was kind of whatever after that.
Yeah.
And I had to trust my gut. It's like sink or swim, like athletes, right? Like you practice so much to take them shots. You know what I mean? When it's time to hit that game shot, 3 seconds on the clock, what you gonna do? Like this ain't practice, this is real. Yeah. And that's how I felt. It was like, yo, B-Dot, I've been doing Cypher since I was in diapers. I say that, like since I was a youngin'. So it's like, this ain't nothing new. Like, and I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do every time.
So talk to me about this post from MC Lyte yesterday.
Yo, I don't even know how to feel for real. Like, so I'm just blushing because it's nuts. Like, you don't even understand, or maybe you do understand. Like, for a female MC, you think of MC Lyte, you think of Queen Latifah, you think of the Left Eyes, the Lauryn Hills, all of those like folks that are like real live, immersed in the culture, the DNA. And for me, it was like, I had an opportunity. So my auntie, which obviously everybody knows now, is Judge Maybelline, right? If you ever watched Divorce Court.
Well, I don't know if everybody knows.
Yeah, well, now y'all know, right?
Post,
like,
yeah.
That's my auntie, but that's my auntie's on my dad's side, right? My dad was in prison most of my life. My dad went to jail, the feds, when I was 2. Got out 3 days before I turned 18 and a month before I graduated high school. So, like, all my dad's side of the family is from California. Like, I don't really, like, and I mean, like, really from Cali and Compton, for real. My grandma still lives there. So, obviously, my auntie being who she is or whatever the case was, she came up here because one of my uncles had a stroke. And that's kind of when me and my auntie started to get a little bit closer. And she, like, was listening to my music, like, oh, you really got something to say. Like, you know how that older generation is. They don't trust it.
Right.
So she's really good friends with Lyte's mom. And I remember her Lyte's mom telling my auntie that I reminded her a lot of Lyte or whatever the case was, because I think my auntie sent her something. And that was like, I want to say like 2000, maybe 18 or 19 this happened. And then sure enough, fast forward, I go to the retreat that they had. They have a hip hop wealth like sisters or something like that Lyte does every year with like a whole bunch of female like women that are doing work, whether that's lawyer, music, business, branding, management, whatever. So I went to Arizona for a few days and got to like meet her and be around a whole bunch of different women. Like I think dude from Empire's my Miss Berry, she was there. Dude, Brayshawn from Empire or whatever. Yep. I forgot his name on there, but he
from
was
the show
there.
that one. Hakeem or whatever.
Hakeem, yeah. His mom was there. Like got to meet her, amazing woman. Another lady was there. Was a lot of people there. So long story short, met Lyte. You know what I mean? She told me I was dope. She heard me rap, all that, but that was it. Like so, I didn't think nothing of it. So then, boom, right? Like years later, she posted me yesterday out of nowhere. Mind you, like we weren't even, I don't even think following each other at the time. Like I don't even know if Lyte follows me. I definitely followed her, but it was like out of nowhere, I just see that. I've been doing my Monday motivation, like freestyles and things like that, just to kind of get myself back out there, like warmed up, because I'm realizing like, yo, and I ain't gonna lie, y'all put a spark in my back. Like when I seen how disrespectful people were getting with that Rushmore, I'm like, hold up, like I can't out street y'all. I can't out drug deal y'all. I can't out scam y'all. But as far as out rap and like sticking strict to the bars, like stop playing with me, man. Stop playing. I'm not trying to be the toughest or the roughest or none of that. But when it come to like the love of the culture, like run up on you when I see you and start spitting, not shooting, not robbing.
You got diss tracks?
Rapping. Nah, I ain't got none of that. I'm waiting. I'm patiently waiting. Word to 50 for a track to explode
somebody
on.
to say something?
Yeah, if you want to.
Somebody say her name, please.
Do it.
I
Let's
wanna
have
see
some
it.
fun.
Do
Let's
it.
have some fun. Do it.
I'm telling you, that
Do
would not.
it.
Hey, you say it on here, they might do it.
No, I believe it.
They might do it.
I believe it.
Yeah,
I believe it.
I hope they do.
I'm not ducking no smoke.
So,
Respectfully.
are you officially like back, like doing your?
Yeah.
You're
yeah.
dropping.
Yep.
You're
I just dropped a
dropping.
new record, Love Is, produced by Ralio. Once again, going back to my hit man. I call him the hit snip champ. Between him and Bishop, they really get me right. That record's about love. Like at the end of the day, I went through heartbreak. I was going through real stuff at the time. Like relationships weren't working out, from friendships to relationships. So for me, it's like I get on my records and rap about my real life and what I'm really experiencing at the time. I'm not on here. I don't drive a Bugatti. I don't have lots of diamond chains. I'm not, and that's no knock to anybody that's portraying that or really lives that life. But like, I want to be relative and relatable for people. I don't want to be this fictionary character that you make up. So like my record Love Is about like, you know, going through a heartbreak and thinking like, you know, somebody was ready, but they really wasn't. And that was tough. So like I got a lot of music right now, like another record called Pray, I'm gonna probably drop sooner than later. That's reflective about a relationship I had for a long period of time that didn't work out and how I was in a child's life. You know what I mean? And that now is not no longer there and how hard that is for me, especially being somebody that's worked with young people. Yep. Like to be in a kid's life for 6 to 7 years and then no longer be able to have that connection and not even know like what he's thinking right now is like, that's a real mental thing. So for me, as you see with the music and the rollout, and I even say it in my freestyles, like mental health is real. I know a lot of people like it's a buzzword right now and it's a hot topic, but like I had COVID really bad in 2020 and like that almost took me out. Like I said that in that freestyle, like when I dropped that on that Jack Harlow, I think, What's Poppin' beat. Like if you listen to them bars and what I'm saying, I'm really talking about an experience that like almost took my life. So I don't take it for granted. And with that being said, like I started meditating, I started spending more time with God. Like I really got myself together mentally because in this business that we want to be in, as y'all see, right? Like it ain't no joke. People will play like this is a mind game at the end of the day. Like people are, I can get on here and start something and then people gonna go on. Like, that's crazy. Bishop calling me right now. Ain't no telling what it's about. Probably a good play though. But anyways, I'll call him back after this interview. Love you, Bishop. But no, all that to say, like life got real. So the music got realer. The bars are still there. And yes, I'm back dropping consistently. And it's gonna be more than that. You know what I mean? Like I've already been curating shows. I've been doing Sisters with Soul for the last 4 years. This is our 4th one now, partnered with True Art Speak. Shout out Tish Jones, you know, the head of that. Like I've been doing that for 4 years, highlighting women artists only, right? Because there's so much disrespect in the city for women.
Yeah, you gotta let some men in on that.
For what? For what? Maybe I'll do Brothers with Soul eventually or something like that.
Yes.
But Sisters with Soul, the reason why I did that was because there are too many women. When I say too many, I mean like too many to even name that are phenomenal, that are only getting spots when they're the hot topic of the month or the year. You know, like rhyme sayers used to do that a lot. They'll pick one girl and then they push her, or one artist in general, black artists especially, and push them, and it'd be like, I made a vow to myself I was never going to be the token like black from the north side of Minneapolis that y'all, you know, like I got relationships over there. I know Slug and things of that nature because of my uncle KLC from the IRM crew originally.
You know Slug?
Yeah, I don't know him personally,
okay,
but I know him, like we speak and things like that. Brother Ali, we speak. We have like a semi relationship at least where it's like that. But like for myself, we had to curate an event that was gonna, you know, display spaces for women of color by women of color. Yeah. And that's important because there's a lot of spaces and places here in Minnesota, in business, you name it. That's like, we're the faces, but are we in the paperwork? Are we the people behind making the decisions? And that to me is key. Like, I want to be that type of gatekeeper in Minnesota. Yeah. If I'm going to be a gatekeeper, right? I want to open gates, not close them and keep them stagnant.
You believe in the gatekeeper?
No, I don't. I absolutely don't. There's not a gatekeeper here that could keep me from getting to where God got me destined to be. Like, I can't even think of one. And there's people that have definitely made moves in the industry in Minnesota and have helped other artists like make, you know, noise and things of that nature. But like that whole gatekeeper, like people get on here and get real egotistical and like think they can change and dictate people's life. Like only God can do that. You don't have that control. Sorry, you don't. Like,
real shit.
Like you don't.
Yeah.
You don't. Sounds good though.
I mean, does it?
I guess.
I don't think
sounds
it
good
really
on live on Lake Street. You wouldn't do that live on Broadway.
That's a great point. So speaking of that, let's get a little controversial here.
Oh, here we go.
So Trap Right being a North Side production and really kind of representing from over there.
Yep.
What are your thoughts? How like the aesthetic of when something like with this the last verses happens, where like everybody paid to watch it, it didn't go up. Do you think that looks bad?
Dang, so you just call out all their little mishaps and try to ask me the question
Yeah.
about it, like,
Yeah.
oh, that didn't happen. Da, da, da. I don't know.
Because I just see a lot of talk about it.
No, so
Like,
being
it
from
makes
the
us
north
look
side,
bad.
like
It's not good representation.
I know, obviously, I know Malik, I know Dolo, I know Kiki. Went to school with Kiki. You know what I mean? Like, I love what they're doing
Shout
over
out to
there.
her.
Yeah, Kiki's the GOAT. I love what they're doing over there as far as like what they're trying to do for a platform, and they're very accurate with some of these verses too. Like I think they get a lot of flack on that. I think like any other project or things that are being worked on, there's going to be issues. There's going to be kinks. Nobody always gets it right. Yep. So I do think their intentions are well. And like, I've reached out. I'm down to do an interview on Run on the 6. Like, I definitely think, they got something going over there. I've been reached out to for ciphers because I know that's another question that's coming up.
I don't think
right?
they're doing Run the 6 anymore.
Well, even if they're not, I would love to, run it before it's run up out. But either way, I say that to say, like, I love what they doing. And they reached out for verses. They reached out for a verses and they reached out for a cipher before. So for the folks out there that's like wondering, like, yo, why you ain't been on there or whatever, like, they got declined by me and the other person for the verses. And then they also got declined for the cipher because I'm just like, no disrespect, but like I'm over it. You know what I mean? Like I've been doing like I'll probably post one soon, like the Who Better Cypher. I did that in like 2012. What was supposed to be the elite at the time, and like I remember recording my verse actually closer to last, I want to say, and I got bumped up. So that's been my story for like ever. Like I can rap with rappers all day long, but like. What comes from that is this just a contest to see who can rap better. Like my thing now is who can make impact, right? Like, and what you want to make impact on. Like I want to make impact in my community. I want to make impact on young people. Like that's my focus. I want to make impact around the world and show them that like all this talk about Minnesota that people be out here just portraying other cities are so unified and Minnesota just isn't it. Like, shut up, bro. Like, that's not true. Like, that's such a lie and such a stigma. Like, all them other cities have the same issues we have. They have issues just like a platform like this or a platform like Trap, right? I'm sure LA Leakers and all them deal with different issues and stuff like that out there, too. Because it's all politics, because it's a business at the end of the day. So, like, I just wish it would stop being so, like, everybody's so worried about being the first. And, like, until somebody's Prince or surpasses Sir Prince, like, all that talk about I'm going to be the one. Like, yeah, if you're going to be the one, then that's dope. But are you going to be the one that opens the door that keeps artists coming? Like certain artists have done in different cities? Like, because they didn't just come through and it was them and that was it. Right. And they're the gatekeeper. Right. Like, no, they came through and they was like, hold up, look at these bunch. And that's why I like my position, because I know a lot of artists in the Twin Cities. And like, I know that if I did or get an opportunity, I'll be able to create more things like Sisters with Soul and things like that to push artists to the front of the platform. You know what I mean? Yep.
So who are some artists that you think you could see kind of bubbling to the top within the next year or two? I mean, really, it looks like we might be on the brink of something.
No,
big.
we're
it feels
about to,
like it.
It's about to, the threshold is about to break. I can tell you that from the youngins, and I mean the young. Like, I'm still working in high schools and middle schools, so it's like I'm seeing kids who y'all probably ain't even heard about. Like it's a girl named Vea that go to North that's raw. Like, and I mean raw. I got some stuff in the works too that I'm gonna do just to display some of them. But like I'm telling you, when I think of artists like right now that y'all know that are like bubbling, that have that potential, like. Obviously, any of my royal family babies. So, like, Prince Riley, for sure, is one of them. Mac Turner, slept on assassin, for sure. Who else could I say?
You think he slept on?
Yes.
I'd say Huncho slept on.
Huncho super slept on.
Yeah.
Armani slept on. Like, the whole royal family camp. Chucky, Maya slept on, which I don't know how, because she's a Northside legend.
I don't think she slept on, though. She just don't have enough out.
Yeah.
That's really all
maybe,
it is.
But
she
I
just
don't
doesn't
know.
have enough product out there.
I don't know. My in the streets the same way I'm in the streets as far as it goes. And like, even when you think of the music or some of the stuff that's being done, like that's my thing too, is like I respect artists that I know are really out here in community putting in work with these babies that we're seeing, and that, a platform like this gets created and now Mac and them can come on things like this. But I would say those, I'm really excited to see what Revy's gonna do. I know Nimic just changed her name to Revy, but I'm really excited to see what she's going to do. She's back dropping music. Of course, Nakara Forte just dropped that Love Hangover 2. Yep. That's going to be crazy. I'm excited to see what happens with that. And then myself, man, like I'm definitely excited to see like what I could do with these opportunities that are coming my way right now. I'm excited to just continue to try to take it over the top so I can open the door. Like if it's, or push the crack a little more, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't want to open the door, but I'll push the crack a little more so it ain't no gatekeepers in that way.
You dropping an album or what are we doing?
We'll see.
You haven't decided?
I'm having fun. I'll say this. I got a project called Who Hurt You, right? Like that's what Love is stemmed off of. That's like a rosebud off of that. That bouquet, I would say. I don't know if I'm going to drop the whole project yet. Y'all going to have to stay tuned for that. But it's definitely, I got a lot of music. I still been recording. I ain't stopped recording. I record myself. So.
And I know you got a lot of music before that.
Yeah. I even got records that like, I got singing dot. They ain't even heard that yet.
You
like,
played me some shit like 2 years ago that I'm like.
When you was still at Wiseman, I played you in
Send that out. Let's put that out.
Yeah. I'm a hoarder of music, and a lot of artists here from the cities are, but like, I'm trying to get better at that.
You're under new management now though, right?
Yeah.
Let's see what he can push out of you.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm excited to see what he does with it.
So you mentioned a few artists that you think of bubble.
Yeah.
But I want your top 3 all-time Minnesota artists.
Top 3 of all time Minnesota artists.
Matter of fact, because you're such a rapper, top 3 Minnesota rappers.
Just rap?
Just rap.
Myself.
Okay.
I'm definitely up there.
I like that you said you first.
Yep. I'm going to do that. I'd say myself. I'm thinking of guys that like in a Cypher I would be like, oh, you know what I mean? Like Meta. Meta's definitely up there. Minnesota for folks. Dang. It's crazy because these two kind of go hand in hand. They don't because they're elite on their own, respectfully. But they're a dynamic duo, Muja and Maria. Like rap-wise, like Maria, I don't know if y'all heard Maria, like off the top. Like,
of course.
Maria's nice.
Nice.
And
Super
Muja
nice.
as well. Muja's nice. So like those are my top 3 like rap. And then, but if I'm not doing Muja, so I honorably mention them. I'll say my Uncle Kelsey from the IRM crew.
All right.
My Uncle Kelsey. So it'd be me, Meta, and my Uncle Kelsey.
Maria's a politician now, though.
Yeah, that's fire.
That is fire.
That's
What is she
fire.
running for again?
Senate, I think.
Okay.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm not surprised by it either.
At all. You shouldn't be.
Yeah.
She been doing this work. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you know the roots of hip hop for real in the culture, it is based and rooted in community work.
Yes.
Like all this, that's because the masses got in control of the masters. So now everybody rapping about slavery, mindset, thoughts. You know what I'm saying? And that's no disrespect. We love to shine. We kings and queens. We wear gold. That's in our history, right? But like, I say that to say, like, when a certain people control the culture, you'll see what gets pushed to the top. You know what I mean? Like, if you pay attention to some of the elite founding fathers and mothers in hip hop, they were all rooted in community. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
You can't be hip hop if you ain't on the corner with your peeps. Like,
This is my last question.
Yeah.
It's gonna be difficult.
Is it?
You cannot include yourself.
Okay.
I need the north side, the real north side Rushmore. Take yourself out.
The real North Side Rushmore. Okay. I'd put my Uncle Kelsey on there.
Okay.
The IRM crew. They're a crew for sure. This of all time or this just right? Or this
Rushmore.
right now?
No, Rushmore.
Right, okay.
Like Rushmore.
I'm not on there, right?
Nope.
Rocky Diamonds would still be on there,
Okay.
in my opinion. Let's see who else. North Side Rushmore. Those 2 last spots are tough. I'd put Rocky on there. I'd put IRM crew on there. I'd put Lioness on there. And I'd put last spot. North Side. Who got my last spot? This is tough. Lioness, IRM, Rocky, and Mac Irv. Mac Irv.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting you kept Rocky on there.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like I wouldn't expect that.
I mean, if you watched, like, I think Novion came up here and said that, like, if you watch the trajectory, like, I get it, right? And that's a beautiful story to watch, too. Like, I'm excited when he comes up here and tells his story, but, like, regardless of how you feel about Marcus, right? Regardless of how you feel about him, because that's what people try to do.
His
like,
government has been set out here way too
No,
many
because
times.
that's what people say it disrespectfully.
Right.
I say that as somebody that kind of like watched him grow and like beyond the persona that y'all see all over social media. Like, he really was a kid that was determined to put Northside, which is what he was claiming at the time, music on, and like went above and beyond to do it. Some ways were tasteful, some ways were distasteful. But at the end of the day, like, he did a lot of things that people still patting their stuff behind now.
Yeah.
And you can't take that from him. Like, you can't.
That's true.
You can't.
You
You could
realize
try.
you realize you only put one woman on the north side, right?
Yeah.
You did what you accused us of.
How?
You said we
You
only
said
put
I
one
couldn't
woman
be on there.
Okay, so all right, that's fair.
And I thought about, there's a few. Like, as far, I could do, you want to, I'm just saying, just chill out.
How about a north side female Rushmore?
Oh, that's easy. Can I be on there?
Yeah.
Okay. I would say myself,
Yep.
Lioness.
Yep.
I don't know if she wants me to put her north side because I feel like she doesn't. Maya, for sure. Maya Marshall.
Yep.
North side. It's some young ones that I'm thinking about that I'm like,
You can't put young people on the north side.
why? Oh, because it got to be like OG.
The founding mothers.
The founding mothers. Me, Lioness. Who else did I say? Was that it?
Maya.
Maya. Yep. Me, Lioness, Maya, and that third one gets tough. I don't even know. I think she's from the north side. I could be wrong. But Jamesia Bennett. You don't know who
you
that
have to
is?
put me on.
Amazing singer, songwriter. I believe Grammy nominated, if not Grammy won. Like backup vocals for Jay. If you know who Paris Bennett is too, like they're a founding family of like when we talk powerhouses, you think of like I'm talking about can sing from the gut, like
Yeah.
not just sing,
Okay.
sang. Like
All right.
she's definitely top tier, and she's one of the ones that I would say early on in my career, like a OG that like myself might not have knew her time and her music, but like showed me how to like be respectful and things of that nature. So
Okay.
For
That's
sure.
solid. I'll take it.
That's
I'll
me.
take it. Okay. Closing thoughts.
man, just be yourself. Like that's the end. That's my last thought. Like, you know what I mean? And y'all keep doing what y'all doing. I know y'all getting a lot of, flack about this show and different things like that. But all y'all bringing to light is stuff that people normally just talk about behind closed doors. It's making rappers be held accountable. Like, and y'all gonna hold me accountable. Like I said, y'all want to get these bars, y'all gonna get them. Come to my IG, follow me on social media, BdotCroc, BdotCroc. You probably see the merch a lot of places.
Yep.
You know what I mean? If you want some merch, hit me up, bgotmerch.com. And we got Sisters with Soul coming this month on Tuesday the 28th. It's going to be virtual because of COVID. We got to go back to virtual because things are rising, obviously. But yeah, that's going down the 28th, 7:30. We got a fire lineup. It's going to be myself, the Lioness, Mayada, and this new girl named Jada Lynn or Jay Lynn. That's fire too. So hip hop, R&B, all female showcase, and we got DJ Castle P on it too.
You can watch it online.
Yep, you
How
can
much-
watch it
how
online.
much
Tickets are $10 in advance. You can get it on trueartspeaks.org right now if you get your tickets there, and then $12 day up. And then we're going to have some merch and some incentives coming out for that too. So
Okay.
That's
And-
it.
And what about music?
Oh, musically, you can listen to Love Is right now. It's on all streaming platforms. You know what I mean? I did a Love Is challenge where I'm rapping over the Music Soul Child classic Love beat, challenging other artists. I challenged a few. We've had a couple folks do it so far. I'd love to see more artists get on there. If you want to diss me on the Love Is challenge, you could do that too. Love is disrespectful sometimes. Love
She
can be
wants
tough.
smoke.
I don't want no smoke.
You want somebody to say your name so bad.
I don't.
Do it.
I don't.
Do it.
I'm chilling.
All right. Well, this has been a pleasure. And I look forward to the music.
Likewise.
And I don't got any music.
No, I'm saying likewise. Like I look forward to my
Oh, okay.
music.
All right.
Man, you real
You
rosy
said-
at the
you
cheeks
said you
right
had-
now,
you
man.
Said you had a question for me.
Yeah.
Were you capping?
Yeah. No, I got a question.
Go ahead.
I know you ain't on the Wiseman. You think you still a Wiseman though?
I mean, I'm wise.
You think so?
I'm a man.
Are you?
Yeah. What are you getting at?
Okay.
What are you trying to
I'm
say?
just checking. We want to know what happened.
They know what happened. Nothing happened. I'm
They.
done.
Who's they? Like Khaled said,
Everybody-
they.
everybody
People
knows
love
what
to say
happened.
they. They be thinking
Everybody knows what happened.
That's what's up. I
I've
don't.
already explained it. I explained it in episode 1
Okay. Cool.
of this show.
Cool. Shout out to Joe.
Shout out to Joe. God damn. Okay. All right.
I love them both. I wish that was a great platform. You know, I love what y'all doing now, but I'm just saying, I love that. That was the start of this. When you talk about my history,
it was my internship.
Y'all showed me a lot of love too. So I can't. I gotta be respectful and shout my man out too.
I'm not. No, I have zero disrespect for Joe. So you just made me sound crazy.
Did I?
Yeah, a little bit. That's all right. No, I love Joe. So I have no issues with Joe. The show just came to an end. That's it.
Live on Lake Street.
Live on Lake Street now. That's it. I got nothing else. You got anything else?
You
got anything else?
I'm good.
Anything else you want to say?
Headshots.
All right, that's it. Another episode of Live on Lake Street. I'm Jake Faircloth. Follow me everywhere at Jake Faircloth1. That's it. We're out. Shout out to Joe. Jesus Christ.
Damn, what in high school, I let it blam, what I wasn't playing, what I'm coming straight out the south. Hey, genius, best watch your mouth. When I put up on PNB, right, that ain't it come out. You moving ounces, I just moved 100 things in a drought. You want the south side, outside the fence of your house. You talking all that, then wanna come talk it out. If you ain't talking money, you talking about.